Welcome back, and today we have a special guest. We have the radio play-by-play voice of the London Knights, Mike Stubbs. And for you, Mike, whenever I tune into a London Knights broadcast, it just sounds like you're having so much fun on the air, and it's great to have you here.
Well, hey, thanks for allowing me to be here today, Mike. It's a fun job. It's one that you don't work in. It's something that you just get to do, and so we're pretty lucky.
And of course, you're with the Knights for this weekend's road trip, the 3-3, starting in North Bay. The team ready for this weekend?
You know what? This is always a very difficult trip. It's coming north, and it's very difficult to play in North Bay. They tend to always have big defensemen who cause problems for you, hardworking players who cause problems for you. And then the Knights go to Sudbury, and the Sudbury Wolves, as you well know, are an electric team. And then you finish off 3-3 against a Barrie Colts team that's been doing some winning. So, yeah, this is a gauntlet right here.
And for you, you're in the thick of it in the Midwest Division, as it seems like every year the Midwest, one of the most competitive divisions in the Ontario Hockey League. And this year, no different, especially with that Kitchener Rangers team. And you've seen them already a couple of times. What's the deal in the Midwest?
Who saw the Kitchener Rangers coming and doing what they are doing right now? Mike, coming into this year, the Kitchener Rangers returned less than 100 goals from last year.
Yeah.
You would think, yeah. And even in Kitchener, I think they had resigned themselves to maybe this will be a building year. We'll see some players take a step, and it won't be long because there's talent on the roster. And then all of a sudden, boom, and off they go. And then they get Roman Schmidt and they get Philip Machar back. And they're a team that can rack up 10 goals if you're not ready for them. And so the Kitchener Rangers are for real. This is not a team that got off to some 20-game run and now they will settle back to being that young and growing team. They've grown. Players have stepped into the skates of players who have left. And it's been a really interesting thing to watch, but it definitely makes the Midwest Division that tough division again, because Owen Sound was building for this year. They had players together 2 and 3 seasons ago, and they were looking at that core and saying, in 2023, 2024, this is us. This is our time. And so they're still in that realm. The Erie Otters have taken steps. The Erie Otters have an awful lot of talent on their side. Picking up Ben Gaudreau makes them tough. And the Guelph Storm have been one of the stingiest teams in the OHL. Guelph got off to a tough start last year where the puck just seemed to be finding the back of their net. And after that, they were able to climb all the way to 9th in the standings. This year, they've picked it up where that stopped. And Braden Gillespie's been excellent in net, and they've been doing it while absorbing some injuries, like a big one to Cam Allen, and he'll return in the new year. So it doesn't look like the division's going to get any easier, Mike. I think it might get more challenging as the season wears on.
And then you look at the West Division, the Saginaw Spirit. They had that slow start, but now they're racking up wins, and another big win last night against the Firebirds. So right now, the London Knights look like they're in the thick of it, competition-wise. Like last year, it seemed like the power was in the Eastern Conference, but this year, everything has gone westward.
There's a lot of power in the West. And you mentioned Saginaw. What they're doing is really hard to do. When you host the Memorial Cup, it's in your mind. Everything is magnified right off the start. They've got cameras following them around, creating what's been a really good show so far for all of us to watch. But at the same time, you know that every move that you make is there to be scrutinized. It takes a little while to adjust to that, and they've adjusted to that. And this is a team that is going to represent the Ontario Hockey League well based on their roster now, and we'll see what other changes they make. But adding Alex Christopoulos, who, if he was healthy from the start of this year, would have a real crack at scoring 50 goals. That's just the kind of player he is. And then Roddy Dionisio is somebody who can break a game open at any time. He is so gifted athletically. So they've made themselves a whole lot better, and they had a good core there before. So yeah, Saginaw is definitely a team to watch out for. Sault Ste. Marie has proven they can score goals. They're always tough to face. The only team that seems to be looking toward the future right now is the Windsor Spitfires. And other than that, any of the 9 teams can say, oh yeah, we'll be there when the playoffs start. And we still have to figure out which one of those is not going to get the chair in the Western Conference game of musical chairs.
Yeah, and for the fans, this is a ton of excitement. And for the broadcast crew, too, just seeing the talent on the ice for all these teams. And then for the London Knights, the number is pretty similar to what we saw last year record wise. Of course, London going to the OHL championship last year against the Peterborough Petes. So, for London, how are they feeling about this season so far? Are they, wanting to see a little bit more? I know there's also been a lot of close games for the London Knights this season.
There have been, and it's guys settling into those new roles where last year, when we look back at the playoffs, that was really the arrival of Denver Barkey and Easton Cowan as players that you had the game plan for. And they formed this line with Ryan Winterton, who's already played NHL games for the Seattle Kraken. And that was a dynamite line. They had an overager line. So it is a little bit of growth internally for the Knights, but Sam O'Reilly has really jumped up. Their defense core is incredibly strong. And so this is a team that, with the acquisition of last year's playoff MVP and Michael Simpson, who on his mask it says hometown tour, he's from London, he's able to play his overage season in London. They have high hopes for this year, and the games have been close. There may be, it's strange because, Mike, you think all of these close games, did the Knights lose scoring that they're still looking to replace? They actually have scored more to this point in the season this year than they had last year, at least going back a couple of weeks. I haven't done the math recently, but it was on that same pace. So this is a team that is still scoring a lot of goals. Their power play is starting to come around as well. It went through a little bit of a dry spell, but it has been putting the puck in the net again. And so that's definitely something that will be a strength of theirs going forward. And now it's just a matter of where they fit in amongst all of those other Midwest and Western Conference teams.
And there was a cool moment a few weeks ago. Dale Hunter, of course, getting win number 908, making him the second winningest coach in OHL history. And I really love that video on social media about the guys just celebrating with Dale. And since you're with the team, you see a side of Dale, I'm sure, that most of us don't usually see.
Dale Hunter is one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. He understands people. And you could see that video that you're talking about where Dale Hunter gets the water shower in the dressing room as a celebration. He has a real respect in the dressing room. And it doesn't just come because he has won now over 908 games and is second in all-time coaching wins in the OHL. It comes from the fact that he knows how this game works, and he has been responsible for helping a lot of guys go a long way in this game. The little tricks that he knew as a player, finding ways to do things that would impact the game. That's really one of those strategies. Be doing something. So if you're a goal scorer and you're not scoring goals, don't worry. That's going to happen. But be doing something. Don't go out and just try and score goals. And if it doesn't happen, oh, well, I had a terrible shift, and you sit back on the bench. There are so many ways to influence the game. And that's something that he really took to heart as a player and has brought to his players now. And when you've got everybody rowing in the same direction, it's a pretty special thing to watch. And he's had a lot of teams doing that over the years.
Yeah, and it's been really just fun to see how the whole organization seemed to change when Dale Hunter took over from behind the bench, and then coming to this point, the Knights still finding ways to win. And it looks like he's also having fun behind the bench, and it's good to see it at the junior hockey level.
Oh, he loves it. He loves the game, loves going through video, loves seeing what other teams are doing, whether it's in the OHL, whether it's in the National Hockey League, whether it's anywhere. You can always learn from somebody at some point. And the Knights have those two Ds that you need in junior hockey. They draft well and they develop well. So Mark Hunter and Rob Simpson, the general manager duo, and then their scouting staff, they find the players, and then Dale and his coaching staff and Dylan Hunter and Rick Stedman develop the players. And it's been a strategy that's kept the Knights competitive just about every year. And that's hard to do in junior.
Oh, exactly. And, this weekend, it's the Knights' one and only visit to Barrie on Saturday. And I know for Colts fans, they get a little excited when the Knights come to town. There's that bit of a rivalry, especially after that championship meeting a few years ago. So it'll be fun to see the Knights and Colts renew their rivalry this weekend.
Those were incredible games. That series was wild. To think it came down, and I know Barrie Colts fans don't like this, but you look back, it came down to a goal being scored with 0.1 seconds left. and that decides your championship. That's a year that goes all the way in any league. You can't go any further than that. Maybe overtime, but it almost feels even more incredible to have it end that way. And there's a big celebration in London. I know Colts fans want to feel that celebration, and well, maybe they've got the building blocks right now to do just that very soon.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but looking forward to having the Knights in town Saturday, and it should be another classic.
Mike, can't wait.
Well, thanks for doing this, and enjoy the North this weekend.
Great feeling air. I love it. It is different. It's nice. I'm really enjoying it. Mike, thanks.
So that was Mike Stubbs, the radio play-by-play voice of the London Knights. Always great to catch up with fellow broadcasters from around the Ontario Hockey League. As you know, we're all in it for enjoying this game that we love, and just to see these players out on the ice and being able to call the games for you on your television set or on the radio. And, you know, we will see the London Knights, of course, on Saturday. That's going to be a 7:30 puck drop at the Saddlein Arena between the Barrie Colts and the London Knights. And a reminder, tonight's game against the Owen Sound Attack, also at the Saddlein Arena, is a 7 o'clock start. Can't wait to renew the Highway 26 rivalry. Always great when the Colts and the Attack go head-to-head, and then you get the Knights on Saturday. So thanks again for tuning in. Remember to put a comment down below, maybe share your thoughts on the Barrie Colts and London Knights rivalry, or even just share your thoughts on the season that is so far for Barrie or the London Knights. Love to see the comments. Remember to hit like and subscribe to be notified about future videos kind of like this, where we talk to broadcasters from around the Ontario Hockey League and also player interviews and others involved with the Ontario Hockey League. So again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again soon.